first guest tonight is a talented actress you know best from her work on The Daily Show and The Newsroom. She stars in Your Friends and Neighbors, which premieres new episodes Fridays on Apple TV+. Please welcome back to the show our friend Olivia Munn, everybody. Happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank you so much.
Did you have a good one?
I did have a really nice one. Friday, we did Muffins with Mom at Malcolm's school.
Oh, that's fantastic. So your son, Malcolm, what does Muffins with Mom entail?
Well, I thought it was like baking muffins
that's not a bad
with Mom.
Sure.
It turns out that moms were supposed to make their muffins at home and bring them in.
Okay.
So I get there.
Uh-huh.
Very proud of myself for remembering all the ingredients.
Yeah.
And I'm watching other mothers come in with their beautiful muffins and putting them on this table, and I'm standing there with a bag of flour. And I look, and so I just tucked it behind somewhere, and I just pushed somebody else's to the side as if it was mine.
Yeah. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah. Oh,
it would be very embarrassing if you're like, I was running late, and you just put the flour out.
I know, Muffins with Mom, I guess it is self-explanatory, but I just assumed.
I will say, I like that you chose the harder path.
Yeah, I just figured, you know.
This is a photo you're holding up. This is a lovely, well, first of all, Malcolm really liked being a part of this picture.
That is pretty much every day of my life now. He's not like that with his dad at all. Just with Mom, it's constant throwing fits all of the time.
Well, you probably have it coming. No, but I will say this is very sweet. I just want to say this is undercuts your theory because obviously he loves you very much. All about my mom. So these are, the teacher asked him and he dictated these answers. Because if this is its handwriting, I'm kicking all three of my kids out of the house. All right, so first of all, my mom is, do you want to read some of the answers?
Yeah, he got this accurate. I'm 24.
Yeah.
Whoa, such a big laugh, you guys. You know, I'm at that age now. Before I would say, like, you know, I'm 38, and people go, oh my gosh, really? And now when I say, like, I'm 44, I wait for the surprise and it doesn't happen, and I just keep going.
They're like, look at you, where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. She has brown eyes and dark hair. Her job is exercise. It's not. Her favorite drink is apple juice. That's his favorite drink, is apple juice. She's really good at running with me. Okay. She always says, I love you.
That's very good.
Yeah, she's happy when she's running with me. She is super because she plays games with me.
I mean, it's very, very sweet.
It is very sweet.
I will say, I like that when they asked for a favorite drink, he said his favorite drink in hopes that, like, maybe they would, like, give you one.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, I don't drink this. And he's like, I'll take it.
Smart, yeah.
When John was last on, he was talking about your daughter, your beautiful daughter. You named her as sort of a tribute to your mother.
I did. Well, I thought I did.
Oh.
So my daughter's name is Mei, M-E-I, with an accent over the E, which means plum in Chinese. And we were thinking about what the middle name should be. And one day we were driving, and my mom just says out of nowhere, you know, people call me June. My mom's name is Young. It's spelled D-U-N-G. And so she said, you know, people call me June. And I said, when do people call you June? And she was like, you know, a lot of people call me June. It's the Americanized name for Young. I said, people call you June? She goes, yeah, everyone call me June. I said, all right, I've never, you know, her middle name is Kim, so everyone calls her Kim. But okay. So then later, John's saying, you know, that would be such a pretty name and such a great way to honor your mother. So why don't we name her Mei June? And I thought, that's a great idea.
It's a beautiful name.
It's a great idea. So then after we have the baby, we send a text to the family and be like, she's here, Mei June Mullaney, and she's named after Mom, and I guess people call Mom June, and we're so excited. And then an hour later, my mom comes to the hospital, and she's holding the baby, and I realized she didn't say anything about the name yet. So I said, Mom, what do you think about her name? And she goes, it's okay. And I said, wait, what? Like, do you like the name? And she goes, it's okay. And I was so offended. I said, well, you know, my grandmother's name was Estelle. I was thinking about naming her May Estelle. Maybe I should just do that. And she goes, you should change it.
Why was she backing off June?
And then she says, why don't you spell it June, no E? And then John goes, what does that mean? She goes, I don't know. I was like, what is wrong with this woman? So for the next few weeks, she keeps pitching out other names to change the baby's name. And I go, Mom, you have to stop pitching out names. Like, this is crazy. And then one day it hits me. So my mom loves to talk. She just talks. One time, she spoke to me for 30 minutes about how she doesn't talk a lot. And I was like, and I remembered back to that day where she told us people called her June. And I remember that there was nothing being said in the car. It was just silence. And then she just came up with this June thing. So I said, Mom, I think I know what happened. Did you just want to talk that day, so you came up with this story that people call you June, but no one has ever called you June? She goes, yes, people call me June. I said, when? She goes, in 1987, 2 women call me June. I was like, you know what? It's staying June, we're not changing it. So yeah, she's kind of in honor of my mother, but I hope she doesn't grow up to be as big a liar.
It is, at the very least, it's an incredible tribute to those 2 women in 1987. I have a lot more to ask you. Stick around. We'll be more with Olivia after this.
Well, Keely, since you asked, my husband was just murdered in the foyer of our house, which is now a crime scene, which is why I'm staying at a hotel, which is why I need new products, which is why, as you so acutely observed, I might be in dire need of retinal eye patches. We were in the middle of a very nasty divorce, so there's a part of me, a disturbingly large one, that is relieved that he's dead. But I mean, Keely, I'm feeling guilty as about that because he's the father of my kids, for God's sake. I mean, what kind of person does that make me?
We're back with Olivia Munn, and that was a clip from Your Friends and Neighbors. It's very fun to be on a hit.
Yeah, it's really nice that so many people have been loving it, yeah.
Yeah, people loved it right away, and you're already filming a 2nd season, which is so, in this day and age, it's just so exciting to know that you get to go back and tell more of the story.
Yeah, we're filming it right now as everyone is watching the show, so it's been really exciting. Yeah, it's been like, gosh, 5 years since I've had anything out there, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really exciting that people have been loving it so much.
And it's a wonderful ensemble, and it's got a lovely, there's a crime element to it. Is this the sort of show that you would watch if you were not in it?
Yeah, I love, the whole series starts with like a dead body. And then it starts to, put the pieces back together. And I really love that's really what drew me in when I was reading it. And I really love, it's a world about the 1%. And you really get to see like the psyche behind people who will do anything to keep their wealth and their status. And then my character and Jon Hamm's character, we're meeting them right as they're on the precipice of losing everything and crumbling. And I really like watching people who have everything lose it all. I think, and it's so fun to play it.
I don't know if I knew where that was going. Obviously not a show for Malcolm and May, but do they see billboards of you? Or is there any recognition of their mother that way?
No. We don't really go out like that to see anything. We don't go out at all, I feel like. But John has his Netflix show every Wednesday night, and so it's 7 p.m. It's just in time to wind down for bed. I want to put it on for Malcolm, and he immediately says no.
Really?
Turn it off.
Doesn't want to watch it.
I said, but Daddy's on. Do you want to see him? He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Well, my kids don't care about me, so maybe I'll get them to watch John's show.
Yeah, and then
you get Malcolm to watch this. I think they like talk shows. They just don't like their dads.
Your kids, Ash is old enough to kind of watch sometimes. No.
Not really. I mean, he likes hearing my voice. He just doesn't like looking at me.
But what about every Thanksgiving you bring them onto the show?
I do.
So they watch that.
They do watch when they're, and by the way, it's very nice for a guest to give me a perfect segue by accident. But I want to ask you about this photo. Is this also your mother's handiwork? This is a photo of Malcolm on his first Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So this is a photo of your son holding a turkey leg.
Yep.
It's an adorable photo. And this is a family tradition?
Okay, my mom.
Who we've established is a talker and a liar. And by the way, a wonderful human being.
She is a wonderful human being. You remember Catch Me If You Can, Leo DiCaprio,
Yes.
Frank Abagnale Jr.?
Yeah.
Like he just can't stop lying?
Yes.
Like that's my mom.
Right.
She just can't help herself. So Malcolm was born the day before Thanksgiving. And my mom comes and, first of all, has never met John by this point. And so she arrives with a suitcase from Oklahoma. She came, and she doesn't even say hi to John. She just unzips her suitcase, takes out frozen turkeys.
Okay.
Because she's like, it's from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I look at, she thinks it's so exciting that they're from Oklahoma. They're Butterball. Like, they're not. So anyways, she says to John, you know, it's so exciting. In my family, with all of our kids, a tradition, we put a drumstick in their hand for their first Thanksgiving when they're a baby. And John was like, oh, that's cool. He says to me, hey, your mom's gonna do this thing. I was like, that is not a tradition. What is she talking about? She goes, no, it is a tradition. Every Thanksgiving, for everybody's first Thanksgiving. So I called my siblings. I said, do we have any photos of this? They said, no, because she's lying. That's not true. So
it's such a good lie.
It's
like nothing is gained from it at all.
Nothing. So then.
Like it's like the only thing is her being like, ha ha ha, gotcha.
This, yeah. So in this photo, John's holding Malcolm. My mom gets her turkey leg. She puts it there. She pats his hand and goes, okay, a new tradition.
Really good. It's a good new tradition, the turkey leg. This is Olivia Munn, everyone. New episode of your friends and neighbors from New Fridays and Apple TV Plus. We'll be right back with Ellen Pelley and John Gable.